Wah, 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 wah. It's time Warp Tuesday. I found my old press clippings. I've got a file folder like this big. Where's it at? It's right here. I got a file folder this big. I thought I'd go through some of these old press clippings from back in the day when there were actually newspapers. Do you remember newspapers? Hey, Marty, what's up? Do you remember newspapers, Marty? Did you, Kevin? How you doing, man? Kevin, you're old school media. It's called radio. Do you remember newspapers? I've got a file folder this thick with all my news clippings from doing stand-up comedy for the last 15 years. It used to be where if you didn't get an article in the newspaper or make an appearance on the radio, there was no way in hell an audience was going to show up that night. So back in the day, man, I got really, really good at either talking my way into radio spots and guest appearances on radio shows or getting interviews in newspapers. But that shit's gone away, man. Now we got social media. That's why I do this every single day. It's Tuesday, February 27th, 4:20 p.m. I'm your good pal, JerDog, and this is the 420 report. Tomorrow, you want to make sure to join me because I'm going to have a very special guest comedian on the line, Mr. Lucky, Dobie Maxwell, he's got countless media appearances under his belt, national headliner, one of my original mentors. He's got author of the book, Monkey in the Middle, great fucking book on stand-up comedy and all of his adventures, and he is going to be headlining the Grassroots Comedy Tour at Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin, the place that I consider to be the nation's #1 midweek one-nighter for comedy. So make sure to join me here again tomorrow, Wednesday, Hump Day Happy Hour, where I always bring on a special guest comedian to have a few drinks with and talk shop. Darlene's in the house. Jody's here. Hey, Jamie, how you doing? Dave is here. Good to see all of you guys. Hit me up with a share. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Leave me some comments and some questions, and I'll try to get to all of them. Even if you're watching on the replay and not joining me live right now, I will still try to get to all the comments that are left below. So let's get right into it. Hey, Jamie, what's up? Kevin Lambert, he is great. Worked with him years ago. Then, Kevin, you definitely want to be here tomorrow when I've got Dobie Maxwell on the line because he's got some great stories. He's got some great stories from doing comedy all over the country since like 1981. There's a book that's called I Killed. And Dobie tells the story of making fun of the Alabama football coach, I think it was, while he was performing at a Holiday Inn lounge in Alabama. And I guess it damn near started a riot with the audience to the point where they had to send hotel security up to his room in order to safely evacuate him from the premises because people were calling for violence. Just because Dobie made fun of the football coach there. Hey, Jody, what's up? Hey, dog, I see you're going to be up my way again. Yeah, dude, I'm coming to Michigan this weekend, brother. I'm going to be in Crystal, Michigan this Friday night. It's just north of Lansing, headlining the final chapter of the Grassroots Comedy Series for the wintertime. Of course, we're starting it right back up for the summertime next month. We got a great lineup there. It's at the Uptown Bar and Cafe. The show is at 8 o'clock. I'll be joined by my co-star and opening act, Dave Welfare, a very extremely talented entertainer, very high energy, great performer, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you can make it to Crystal, Michigan this Friday night, I highly recommend it. You better get tickets now, though, and I'll post all that information in either the comments or the description of this video as soon as I wrap up here. And then Saturday, I go to Alpena. Maybe you're closer to Alpena, Jody. I don't know. But I'll be doing the He Said, She Said comedy show, the comedy battle of the sexes with the mutant queen of comedy. Jody, you saw that one a couple weeks ago in Lapeer. We crushed. The place was fucking packed. Literally standing room only. literally standing room only. They had to turn people away because they're at fire marshal capacity and could not get any more in there. So those are the upcoming shows for this weekend. Friday night, Crystal, Michigan at the Uptown Bar and Cafe. Saturday night at the Alpena Eagles Club in Alpena, Michigan with the He Said, She Said comedy show, co-starring myself and the Mutant Queen of Comedy, Katrina Brown. They don't have very many tickets left for that one either. And all the reserved VIP tables they're already gone. They're already sold out. So you can still get tickets for general admission, but you better call there today. And I posted the show on my Facebook profile. If I get done with this video, just scroll down and you can get the number to call and make your reservation for tickets. And what you're going to want to do, because it will be sold out if you wait till Saturday and just try to show up at the door. Woo! That's all the business out of the way for right now. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. What I want to show you guys. It's Time Warp Tuesday, and I was going through a lot of my old shit. Hey Lee, what's up? Happy 420 to you too, man. Remember newspapers? Remember back in the day, newspapers? I haven't done a newspaper article or an interview for like 2 years. But it used to be like every damn show I was in the paper. Oh, and I found my old file folder. They got a whole stack of newspaper articles and interviews right here. So I just thought I'd go through some of these with you real quick because they're pretty damn funny. Uncle Russ in the house. What's up, man? Oh, here's one. This is with there's Mrs. JerDog and hanging out with Chris Wilde, national headliner. That was at Penguins Comedy Club. I opened up for him like in the year 2000, long time ago. I was just getting started. I was probably one of my very first paid weekends at a comedy club. And he brought me in because this dude is completely off the hook, but he can only do like 30 minutes of material at a time. So they needed somebody else to come in and sort of be like the bulk of the show that just wasn't as well known. Tim, what's up, buddy? We're just talking about you. I've got Dobie Maxwell coming on tomorrow to be my special guest for Hump Day Happy Hour. He will be headlining the Grassroots Comedy Tour at Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin next Wednesday. What is the date on that? March 7th. It is. But that one's already sold out. So we're not exactly promoting the show for that, mostly just having a good time, and Dobie's going to have some great stories, I guarantee you. Cheryl's in the house. How you doing, Cheryl? Here's a picture of me in the old dog costume at the Joker's Comedy Club. That's how I got the name JerDog. I used to go on stage in this full, you see it right back here. There's the painting of it is the giant yellow dog costume that I purchased for free in a black garbage bag when I pretended to take out the trash from the amusement park here in Des Moines, Iowa, Adventureland. And that's how I got the name JerDog, because I used to wear that around to college parties. And actually, it's a really good way to get the girls, because, you know, they would see me coming up to them. They'd be like, oh, there's that fucking weirdo again. But they'd see this giant, lovable yellow dog coming up to him. Oh, everybody wants to pet the puppy. So, you know, girls would just flock around this dog costume character, Henry the dog. And, you know, then I'd get their phone numbers and meet them up at a party. And that's all I'll say about that. Anyway, hey, more photos of the dog costume, though. There it is, full on. I think I'm actually humping that person's leg right there. I'll put the video of this too. I've got some vintage video on my YouTube channel. If you're not a subscriber of my YouTube channel, you should go over there as well. The Bar Comic on YouTube. I put up all the crazy shit that happens when you do stand-up comedy on the road. I don't record it live, but I definitely take the video camera with me every single weekend. And you never know what the hell's going to happen. So I film every show. I've got my best ad-libs with audience interactions, heckler battles, behind-the-scenes footage, car breakdowns, car accidents, demolition derbies that I've competed in, all that crazy shit that goes down that you see outside of just the regular comedy show. You know, here's one. Comics bring mirth to Milo. Talk about the 420 report. Look at that T-shirt right there. That's old school. This is from Indianola, Iowa. The Grassroots Comedy Tour brings laughter to town, small town venues. This one went to Milo, Iowa, Main Street Station, and they would bring us in year after year. They packed that bitch out too, man. Hey, Patricia, how you doing? Matt's in the house. Will's here. Guys, how are you? Leave me a comment. Hit me up with some questions. I'm just going through some of my old press clippings from over the years. Now, this is probably the most recent newspaper article that I've done. This is from Eau Gray, Michigan, and I just have the photocopy of it. If you guys can see that at all, there I am. See, I can tell I lost a little bit of weight. I'm wearing the black shirt, the ball cap. So I know that is fairly recent. I think that's from like 2 years ago. Okay, so that's the most recent newspaper article interview that I've done 2 years ago. I haven't done a newspaper interview for 2 years. What the hell happened to newspapers, man? Here's one. This is one from Jackson, Michigan. We got a lot of Michigan press clippings here. This is when I was in the Comedy Wild West show. And right down here, this whole thing is going to fall apart. Right down here, there it is. You can see me as Bad Bob, waving my guns around. Probably not the most politically correct thing to do these days, but we do the Comedy Wild West show. It's all about jokes. It's all about humor. It's all about the comedy. It's not really about the guns whatsoever. It's about making people laugh. And back in the Old West, they did carry around 6-shooters. So it's just a prop. That's all it is. It's just a prop. It's nothing there to encourage violence. It's all just slapstick comedy. Yes, Uncle Russ, and getting pulled over. You can see videos of that as well, which happened to me last week when I was doing Facebook Live 420 report on my way to Michigan City, Indiana, and I thought I'd do a little video blog from the car. Not the smartest move. I started hauling ass and driving almost 10 miles over the speed limit and got my ass pulled over. Look at this press clipping. This is from 1993, I believe, or 93, I think it is. That's me right there. No, not there. That's me right there as the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz at the Des Moines Community Playhouse. I had just gotten started taking some acting classes. I was a theater major at Central College in Pella. Probably one of the biggest wastes of money I've ever made in my life. I learned more about acting in about 3 weeks of doing the Comedy Wild West shows for Shenanigans West Texas Productions Comedy Wild West than I did in 3 fucking years taking acting classes at Central College. But that's why I stayed with that company for 10 years, man. Learned a lot about comedy. Did 5,000 shows in the daytime, competed against roller coasters and cotton candy salesmen on the fucking streets. And that's how you learn. You learn by doing. You can take as many classes as you want, and you can study as much show business and entertainment theory as you want, but unless you're out there doing it, experimenting, falling on your face, fucking failing a lot, you ain't going to go anywhere, man. It's called putting in your 10,000 hours. You got to learn what works. You got to learn what doesn't work. And the best education I ever got doing comedy and doing show business was working for Shenanigans Comedy Wild West show back in the day. 10 years, man. 10 years I did that shit. So I started going out on the road full time doing stand-up comedy when my kid was born. Hey, John, I was just talking about, speak of the fucking devil, just talking about doing Shenanigans Comedy Wild West shows, bringing up my press clippings. When John Donovan joins in, we did lots of shows together back in the day, tons. And there it is. This is from the Michigan or Jackson County Fair in Jackson, Michigan. And there's a photo of me as Bad Bob. My hat went flying off, and I'm threatening the audiences, acting like an asshole. But that's why I love that part so much. You get to be a heel. It's like being the bad guy in wrestling, you know? You don't have to be the friendly dude. You don't have to be the likable guy. You got to be the unlikable guy. You want the crowd to love to hate you. You know, that's kind of the secret. You don't want them to really hate you. You want them to love to hate you. You know, like Rowdy Roddy Piper back in the wrestling days. I use a lot of 80s wrestling because that's what relates to me when it comes to this shit, being a provocateur. What's this one? Oh, this is one of my very first articles ever when I started the Grassroots Comedy Tour. There I am. I got on the headband. This is 2 comics Two guys walk into a bar. This one's about ready to fall apart too. This is from New Year's Eve in Ackley, Iowa. I got another crazy story about that night. I was working with Josh Alton, and actually, I'm probably not going to tell that story. It might be a little too incriminating for a Facebook Live video. Here's another one. I don't know where this is from, but that's a good-looking picture of me right there. There's a shitload of these. Laughs Rock the House at Wally World. This is in Warren, Illinois. Look at that. That is old school right there. There I am with Josh Alton, one of the original Road Dogs. We did Road Dogs, the documentary. Then we did the follow-up, American Smartass, a couple years later, which you can get on Amazon. I think you can get both those movies on Amazon. Ashton's in the house, man. Ashton, you got a birthday coming up. If anybody's watching right now from the Iowa area, the central Iowa area, you want to get your ass to Barnum. It's just outside of Fort Dodge. This weekend, there's going to be a great party going on at the Junkyard Bar and Grill. You don't want to miss that. They've got an awesome band. What is it? The Ramblers, I think, is playing. Oh, look at this one. They grabbed the wrong picture off my website. That asshole, Jailhouse Jake, who was on the line with me last Wednesday talking his shit and being inappropriate. I didn't appreciate that. But this is a comedian, heads back to his roots, JerDog, bringing comedy to Stillwell. You know, back in the day, doing stand-up comedy in small towns, it was an innovative thing. And it was news. So it was very attractive to newspapers to put in articles like that, like, you know, comedian going back to his roots. And that particular one, they just grabbed the wrong picture off the website. Whatever, it happens as long as they spell your name right. That's another thing that goes on in these newspaper articles. I've got tons of clippings. There it is again. Jailhouse Jake. If only if only Jailhouse Jake could have ever actually have got his act together and gone out on the road, but he just can't help getting himself into trouble and winding up in prison every damn time. Hit me up with some comments or questions. Here we go. All right, here's what I was looking for. The article about Road Dogs, the documentary. You see on there, Josh, my co-star in the movie, is pictured with Dave Attell, who's a very well-known comedian. He did Insomniac on Comedy Central, and he's in the movie Road Dogs with us as well. They did a show together at Penguins Comedy Club in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, years and years ago. Chris Carter, what's up, man? Just talking about shenanigans. Look, I've got two of my fellow gunfighters on right now, man. Talking about learning on the streets. The 3 years that I spent as a theater major at Central College in Pella, Iowa, complete waste of fucking money. Meanwhile, I went out and within 3 weeks learned way more than I ever did in 3 years as a theater major and got paid for that, as opposed to paying somebody to teach me to act. I was getting paid to learn how to act and do comedy. Did that shit for 10 years. Best education I've ever got in my life, man. Local comedian stands up for laughs. So you see the article back here that's on the frame behind me. And that's actually this one right here. This is another one of my very first interviews ever. This is from the Altoona Herald. And that is November 19th, 2003. This is right after I'd finished up my stint with West Texas Productions doing Shenanigans Comedy Wild West show. You know, I just realized I have not been showing any of these to the people that are watching right now on the Bar Comic website or Facebook page. So I better show it over here too. And I didn't even know really how to do an interview. I didn't know what to talk about. They're like, so, hey, what are some questions we can ask you? And I'm like, what are some questions you can ask me? You're supposed to be the goddamn reporter. You figure it out. You're supposed to be asking me the questions. This one I was playing in a place called Grand Ridge, Illinois, and they changed Road Dogs into Ridge Dog. And there's the quote right there. I speak honestly about my life. It's nothing raunchy, but it's edgy. I don't hold back when I'm on stage. JerDog commenting on a stand-up comedy act. Hey, dude, Chris Carter. There it is, off the wall. in Grand Ridge. I got a whole bunch of these, man. Here's another one. Late night. A night to, what does it say? A night of live comedy with JerDog. What kind of outfit is that? I look like a referee or an umpire or something. Look like that was a bad look. I look like a homeless guy in that jacket. Wally World presents the mighty JerDog. That is not me. That is an old school headshot. Look at that shit. Want to be in a movie? Head to Wally World. That's when we were filming Road Dogs. We did that one. Stand-up comedy coming to Kewanee. Look at this, man. Back in the day, I used to be interviewed all the time in these newspapers, and now it's just like nothing. You'd think that they'd be begging for content. If you want to attract a younger audience, you got to put in more articles that are going to appeal to a younger audience, like about edgy comedians that are coming to town that you're not going to be able to see otherwise unless you drive miles and miles and miles away to a real comedy club. Look at this one. I actually made the front page of this paper, JerDog, the front page of the life section, actually, not the front page of the whole paper. Front page of the life section. There's the JerDog thing again when I was playing in Grand Ridge, Illinois. Is there a way for me to jump in your live feed? I was going to show you my Leon getup. Okay, Chris, I think I can bring you on, but not here because I'm broadcasting from my laptop. But if you go over to the Bar Comic on Facebook, I'm broadcasting right now from my phone. And on that, if you're still watching, Chris Carter, you can jump in on that feed. So stop watching on my personal Facebook page. Head over to Bar Comic on Facebook, the Bar Comic on Facebook. And I'm broadcasting live right now from there as well. And that's where you can jump in. I've got the little thing that says I can add somebody. Maybe I'll even try to request you here real quick. So everybody else, just bear with me. I have no viewers to invite yet. Nobody's even watching on the Bar Comic page. Everybody watches right here on my personal feed. So anyway, Chris, if you want to jump on and show me your current Leon getup, I'd love to see it, dude. Just go over to Bar Comic and I'll get you on. And then I'll do like a reverse screen. I'll show you guys what I have going on here. See, there it is, right? And then and that'll be fun, dude. That'll be fun. See if we can make that work. There's another one. I think I already showed you this one. JerDog coming to Blanchard, coming to Kewanee, movie Wally World. You already put all these back. What the hell am I doing? I got some more Grassroots Comedy Tour coming to Ludington. Tons of art. I almost have too many in here. Here's front page paper. Here's where I made the front page. Main Street Laughs. Look at this. Full spread. Full spread right there. It's got this is a great picture of the audience laughing right there. I think this is what more bars need to actually do. A lot of bars get on Facebook, they do a video, and they show what's actually happening on stage. I think more bars and venues need to take pictures of the audience and show how much fun the people are having, how packed out the place is, instead of just showing what's happening on stage. Anyway, viewership is declining right now. I went from 10 to 3 viewers in just a matter of minutes, but so what? It's Time Warp Tuesday. I just wanted to give you guys a glimpse of something from the past. It's called a newspaper. And this used to be the way that stand-up comedians would get publicity. We'd either have to do a newspaper interview or we'd have to go on and make a guest appearance on a radio show. There was no social media, there was no YouTube, there was no Facebook, there was none of this. There was no other way to get the word out other than word of mouth, newspapers, or radio advertising. All that stuff's gone away now. It's more difficult than ever to get that newspaper interview. It's more difficult than ever to get the radio appearance. And I don't understand why. If they want to attract more listeners, if they want to attract more readers, more subscribers, more audience, you got to do more shit than just the same old every single day. You got to bring in interesting people for interviews. You got to have different kinds of entertainment content on there that's going to engage people and want to make them recurring audience members that check out what you have going on the next week or what you have going on the next day on your radio show. But now I see more than ever, they're not willing to take that risk. They don't want to take that chance. They don't want to offend their customer base. Well, it's not offensive. If we know how to behave, you can always edit the interview that's going in the newspaper, right? I'm not going to curse when I go on the radio. I did radio for 3-4 years up in Rockford, Illinois. I knew how to keep this shit clean. But I much prefer interacting with you right here on a Facebook Live where I don't have to be censored, where I can be completely 100% myself, raw, honest, unfiltered, and get out the promotion that is more fun and engaging with the people. So thank you guys very much for watching once again another live video blog here on Facebook, the 420 Report. Be sure to join me tomorrow. It's going to be huge. Dobie Maxwell. I don't know if it'll work now, Chris. Where do I need to go again? Go to my Bar Comic page on Facebook. Bar Comic fan page, the Bar Comic fan page. Let me send you a little, let's see if I can do this and we'll make it happen. Oh shit. I think I messed it up. Whatever, dude. I'd love to see your Leon get up, but it's not going to happen today, partner. Sorry about that, man. Join me tomorrow. I'm going to have Dobie Maxwell on, Mr. Lucky himself, countless media appearances, including the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, author of the book, Monkey in the Middle, which is an amazing book on stand-up comedy, plus the trials and tribulations of somebody who gets mixed up with the rackets completely innocently because his best friend tried to rob a bank and Dobie was unknowingly the getaway driver. We're going to talk more about that tomorrow for Hump Day Happy Hour. Be back here at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Be talking with Dobie Maxwell live. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be great, especially if you're a student of stand-up comedy, because this guy he's a teacher, man. He knows his shit. He's been around for a long, long time. So I'm probably going to be listening and taking notes more than I'm going to be yakking into the phone. Get out. Anyway, my phone's ringing. I got to go. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Uncle Russ. Thank you, Chris. We'll make it happen, man. I'd love for you to join in on a live video blog one of these days. Keith, who else? Ashton was here. John Donovan was here. Will, Patricia, Cheryl, Tim Pogorelski from Boxcars Pub and Grub, where Dobie Maxwell will be headlining Wednesday, March 7th, part of the Grassroots Comedy Tour there, which I consider to be the #1 choice for midweek one-nighter in comedy. Boxcars Pub and Grub in Clinton, Wisconsin. Kevin Lambert was here today. Everybody, thank you so much for joining in. I'll be back tomorrow, 4:20 p.m. or as close as possible. In the meantime, Dog bless America.